Alright guys, we're back with you for another video. I know we take some time off between videos, but that's just the way it is. So what we're going to do today is work on the Toyota here. I gave my son back, he switched over back to his E30, driving that for a couple days while we work on this one. It's raining down here for the next 2 days, so can't do anything outside pretty much, so this is where we're at. As you can see from where the camera's at, we're gonna attack this wheel right here. Not because of the wheel, but because of the shocks. From what we can tell, these are the original shocks. We'll get a better look in there when that's time for that. But we got some shocks. These are the KYB, the XLGs. We got these from O'Reilly's. There's your part numbers for the fronts and the backs. We're gonna go ahead and get working on those. I'm gonna go ahead and knock the old tire off of this thing and then get to work on doing the front shock right here first. We got the old F1 race going. So that's what our background is. I got it muted right now, but got some pit stops going on, maybe some rain running there, but we're gonna get this off and get back to work here. Okay, we got the truck jacked up. That was the easy part. Now we'll move on to actually doing some work. We're gonna get the tire off first, and then we'll get a light in here and show you what's going on. So here we go, 1, 2, 3, bang. And here we are back with you. All right, so the old wheel came off, super easy. Now, we're gonna come in here and we gotta work on replacing the shock. So as you can see, all the rubber, everything, that is completely shot. Coming down here, you can see the shock body itself is not in the best shape. And you can see there's like surface rust and stuff on a lot of these components down here. I don't know, guys, you tell me. Is this concerning? I mean, it's solid. It's not like it's, to me, I'm thinking surface rust. Like I said, not the best, and we can replace them. They're not super expensive. The uppers are harder to find than the lowers. I can get the lower control arm there from like O'Reilly's. So the upper one you have to order from someplace else, but I can get them. And then you got all the bushings and other stuff. So I don't know, guys. Survey. Does that need replacing or not? I mean, we'll see as we dig into it. But anyway, to get the old shock here, we're gonna work on getting this one off. So we got the nut right up there. So we'll work on that one. I'm gonna obviously use a little WD-40. And then we've got the nuts down here. There's one on that side, and then there's one on this side over here. Harder to see with my lighting situation, but it's there. So we'll work on that, and in theory, the old shock should come right on out. So let me get a wrench and we'll attack the top part. All right, folks, back with you, and Mr. Rust is winning right now. So as you can see, WD-40, the one on the left is empty. I didn't use it all on this, but I used some of it, so now we're on the second can. That said, this up here is rusty. And some of y'all might note that basically the top of the threads is the top of the thing. So what had happened was, as I was trying to do this, holding the top, if you can see down in there, essentially the bottom of the or the top of the thing just twisted right off. So as I was twisting the nut thinking I was getting somewhere, what I was really doing was twisting that off. So now I don't have anything on the top to hold. The rust is pretty bad on the threads. I tried to do WD-40. I've tried to wire brush them a little bit, and they're stuck. All right, the nut does not want to come off. So I'm gonna have to figure out something else here. I can try to hold the shaft down here, see if I can spin it. So that'll be another shot. Let me do that. put some vice grips on the on this part of the shaft down here, you know, and right in that area, and see what I can do. But for right now, yeah, the nut is not wanting to come off. It broke loose real easy, came up a little bit, and then it does not want to come off because of the threads. So going back at it again, see what the next option is. All right, everybody, I'm back. So we won, as long as I can get this back out of here. So anyway, this is a 15. So I was finally able to use the vice grips, which you see here, holding on to the shaft of the shock. Yeah, I said that word. I was trying not to, but anyhow. And then I had this, which is my, it's a 6-point wrench, not a 12, because if you tried to use a 12, you'd have rounded that thing off in 2 seconds flat, because it's just not made for the kind of torque I was putting on it. But as you saw previously, the top part snapped off where I was holding it with the vice grips, or I mean with the channel locks. Now, as I was turning, thinking I'm getting somewhere, and I did a decent amount with the wrench and twisted until I finally got to where I could put this shallow socket, because the tall sockets, you can see I bumped it a little bit and scratched some paint, but anyway, I could finally get this in here with a shallow socket because the nut was high enough, and twisted, but I just twisted it right off. So we should be good. I mean, I don't really care how it came out because we're not reusing it. So there's another bushing. The metal piece flew off over there. But there you go. And as you can see, this shock is completely dead. Because as I was letting the bolt out, it was just falling down of its own accord. So there you go. Completely dead, no rebound whatsoever. Definitely needed to be changed. So, not the way I was thinking we were gonna get that off, but I'll take what I can get. So now we just have to go after these bottom ones, which you have to go on from underneath, and I'm a little concerned that these little capture nut things on the back are not gonna hold. I don't know. This may end up turning into a lower control arm job, but we'll see what we can do. So let me get set up on that and see what we can get done on the bottom. All right, guys, back with you again. I got set up. So this is a 12mm nut. Like I said, you have to go at them from the bottom, and that's the top of it right there in the middle of the screen. But as you can see, we ended up in the same situation. So I'm gonna have to buy new bolts because the new shocks don't come with these bolts. So I'll be able to get the shock out, but now I got to deal with whatever's going on there. So I don't know. I think I'm in a bad spot here, and I may have to get some lower control arms because yeah, I don't know. Let me see. We'll dig into this some more, but a lot of this happening. So let me see if I can get the other one out or snap the other one off or whatever. We'll see. All right, so success. This one actually came out. So hopefully I can use this one to figure out the threads and size and all that stuff with my, my little sizer gauge thing. So I can go buy some new ones, because I'm pretty sure the other ones on the other side are probably gonna break too. That said, like I suspected, this is like a captured little thing that's part of the lower control arm. And since this is snapped off in there, I don't know that I'm gonna be able to get that out. So, yeah. To be honest, I don't really like the way the bottom control arm looks anyway. I mean, like I said, I think this is mostly surface rust, but yeah. I don't know, guys. We'll see. We'll see what we can do here. All right, folks. While I contemplate what to do about that nut that's, or the rest of that bolt that's stuck in there. This is the shock, As you can see, it's got some rust problems on it too. Bushings all shot. This is original equipment from 1986 for sure. So that's that. As you can see, this thing, like, it just, I mean, there's nothing to it. It's, yes, I work in flip-flops. It's Florida and it's hot. Anyway, you can see it doesn't want to come out. It goes right back in. That's trash. So, all right, everybody, while I'm, sorry, I got Broncos running behind me, but while I'm contemplating what to do up front real quick, I figured I'd come back here and see what I'm into for the rears. So that is a 14. So we'll get to working on that. And then up there, I'm assuming that's a 14 as well. So yeah, put a ratchet on that thing, or maybe the gun, see if I can get that dead blasted thing out of there without snapping it off. So anyway, maybe we can at least get the rear shock on, because as you can see, this one is in bad shape too. Looks like it used to be gold, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, let me see if I can get this started. All right, folks. So for this one busted loose, and pretty much as soon as it came loose, I can undo it with my fingers. So that was refreshing. I thought when I first busted it loose, maybe I was breaking the bolt, but that was not the case. And in fact, in there it looks fine. I think it's just because the front ones, the threads poke out past the thing, and they're exposed, and then they get bad. That one right there came loose pretty easy too. Didn't even have to pull on it too much. And it's pretty much finger tight, but I can't film and do that all at the same time. So I'll get that one out, and then we'll bring the new shock over here and see if we can get that thing put in and replace this. Yeah. All right, so top's off. That actually came off pretty easy. Bottom, a little bit more of a struggle. Got the old screwdriver here after it. Gave it a couple twisty pries and stuff, and then pried on it some while I wiggled the thing, but it just slides off. Just didn't want to cooperate super good. But let me go ahead and get it the rest of the way out, and then we'll go look at it on the bench next to the new one. All right, here we go. We're on the bench. That's the old one, and that's the new one. So, you know, like I said, these are the KYB. Those are the front ones. These are the rears. So that's the new one. Just black, plain. Got them from O'Reilly's. Anyhow, this is the old one. This thing is a rusty original equipment mess. That said, I mean, you can see I'm pushing it down with one hand. And then, yeah, no rebound, nothing, completely done. Was not hard to push down, no rebound at all. So this is gonna be good. Hopefully the back goes in relatively easy. Came out pretty easy. So at least we can get the rears done, and then switch back to the fronts. All right. I try to show you all the steps I do. Sometimes I miss something because I don't have a dedicated cameraman or anything. But what I did was wipe both of these little stud things off, whatever, with some WD-40, just clear any of the rust and stuff off. And then the bottom one had some on it. The top one was in great shape, no issues. And then I just put a little bit of bearing grease, you know, on both of them, just so we don't have any squeaky problems, and it'll help get me the new one back on. So anyway, that was that step. Now we'll get the new shock back on. Okay, now for the install, I went ahead and put it in up top and put the bolt in with the little washer and all that, just same hardware as before. Left this retaining strap on here, and then I'll cut that, which I kind of started to, and as it expands, I'll try to get it to go on that, so that way, you know, I don't have to fight it and compress it and all that, but we'll see. So that's the plan. Cut that, steer it onto there, and then put the bolt in. Okay, everybody, there you go. So that worked. It's pretty easy as it's expanding out. You just get it close to that bottom little stud thing and then guide it on as it goes past it. The bolts are back in, top and bottom. They're all done. So there you go. That's one new shock back in. So 1 out of 4 done. I'm probably just gonna go ahead and do the other back one while I'm back here and get one more momentary feeling of success before I go back to the front and get defeated again. All right, guys. Anyway, this one's in now. Nothing fancy here. Same as the other side. So I spared you watching me do it, but it's all in. So that's that. All right. I moved over to the other front to see if I was going to have the same luck there. At least know what I was dealing with. And so there's your update. That's the top of the other one. So just snapped it right off. I didn't snap the top off because I just went straight to the vice grips on the down below. So anyhow, a lot of torque, and that came off that way. So let me get that out and see what luck I have on the bottom bolts. All right, back with you for another update here on my trials and tribulations. Like I told you, so this broke off. No big deal. That just means the top can fall out. So don't care if it comes all the way off or not. Anyhow, down here, if you notice, I have 2 bolts. Neither one of them broke. I don't know how awesome they are as far as putting them back in there, to be honest with you, but I can buy new bolts. That's a doable thing. So yeah, I can just pull the threads off of that, figure out what I need, and they can even be a little longer, but I can get new bolts. So that would be a trip to the parts store. But there's this crusty old sucker off. So now that leaves me back to this side. If it wasn't for that one that broke off right over there, I'd be able to put these new ones back in and be all done. That said, I don't know what to do about getting that one out. So I'm gonna look at it a little bit more, see if I can figure out a way to get that out. I tried to grab it with like some vice grips at the very, very tip where it tapers to see if I could get it to move, and I couldn't. So I might give that like one more try. And if that doesn't work, I'm gonna go look and see what it costs for lower control arms and when I can get them. So anyway, if I gotta wait on parts, then that means my son might be driving the old E30 for a little bit longer until I get this one straight, but I don't know, we're gonna think. But that's the full status of where we are. Backs are done, those are in. I'll probably put the back of the truck down here shortly. But yeah, disappointing. I don't know why I had to have that one brake on me like that. It was the first side I started too. Oh well, let's see what we can do. All right, guys, I'm back with you. I gotta admit, my back hurts a little bit because of the way I had to lean over here, and I've got to get a lift. Problem is, I don't have much height in this place, so anyway, getting a little old to be bent over like this, but putting in a bunch of hard work with the vice grips to start with, and then eventually I got to where I could use the channel locks. But what I decided was, screw the threads. Since there's no bottom on this bolt, just keep it coming on through. That way, the threads that were protected inside of the threaded area there were the ones that I was using, not trying to back it out, because there's like no way I'd back it out. So I just kind of kept it coming. And since I did it that way, got it loose. So there you go. You can see I boogered it up pretty good, but didn't care because I wasn't using those threads. I was using the ones down inside. So that is salvaged, for lack of a better term. So now I'm gonna go get some new bolts because I just want newer bolts to put this on with. But other than that, I can progress with putting the front shocks on and get this thing back on the road today. But I got to get to the parts store because tomorrow's Labor Day. I think they're closed, so I got to get there today. So that's what we're going to do. Just thought about it a little bit and figured out a way to get around what my problem was. So there we go. All right, we're back. I went and got me some Jimmy John's and bought these suckers. So there we go. M125s. These are 30 mils long. They're a little bit longer than the original ones, but as you can see, that is not a problem. These can just come sticking straight up. They happen to be out of the ones that were like the 20s and the 25 millimeter lengths they were out of. So this is what we got, but they're flanged just like the ones that came out. These are 13 mil instead of the 12 mil heads that were on the ones that came out. And we're gonna go ahead and work on trying to get these back in here. I bought a new can of WD-40, so I'm gonna make sure I get that all down in those threads because my last can wasn't working. So here's our new shock. Bag of goodies there as far as that's all on the top. So the way we're gonna put this in is we're gonna do the bottom first, then we're gonna cut this strap, aim it into the hole up at the top up here, you know, as we go. Of course, we got to put, you know, the rubber bushing the thing and all on the bottom side of it, and then run it through the hole. So that's what we're gonna do. Let me see if I can get the bottom in, and we'll go from there. All right, so here we go, guys. Those bolts are in down there on the bottom. Being a little longer was a little bit persnickety, but we got them in there. Just because of the length of the bottom and stuff they run up against. Unfortunately, I did bump the shock on this rusty control arm, so it scratched it just a tiny bit. But basically, I got the bottom in and then I cut the strap. Then you have to, with this one, you still got to like muscle it down, because once you cut the strap, you got to put these pieces on here. Once those are on, then you can guide it up through and then put the pieces on top up here. But because you can just grab the cylinder there, you can push down on it. It's not like crazy hard, but anyway, you do that. Now I got to get the nut, start tightening this thing down, and then move to the other side and hopefully get it on without scratching it. All right, folks, there's that. I just did the double nut thing. I put the big one on the bottom and the smaller one on top to be the lock nut. So that's that. Okay, guys, there you go. We got this side in. Still, like, bumped it a little bit, and then, I mean, this paint and all that, but regardless, that's in. It's all tight. Bolts are in down here. Everything's good to go. As far as this, yeah, it looks, and I don't like it, but what it seems like, if you can see, like right there, it's like the paint is kind of like, that's all it was. Like the paint comes off, and then there's a little surface rust underneath it. So I feel like it's fine. It just looks ugly. But another problem for another day at this point, because shocks are in. I'm gonna go ahead and slap the old tire back on this thing, get it down on the ground off the jack stands, and see how she sits and everything. But that's that. All done. All right, folks, here we are. Back to what it looked like when we started, except I should have measured to see if it's sitting any higher. Not that shocks really do that per se, but I mean, every little bit that pushes up is better. But regardless of that, I pushed it, you know, rocked on it a little bit and all that. So hopefully it rides better. Well, we're not going to really know for sure until my son takes it for a ride. But I also found out his tires were 10 pounds low. So, you know, you try, and then they don't check things and all that. So that's why you have to trust but verify. But anyway, here it is. Everything's all done. Probably can't see much of nothing under here, but it's all there. There you go. So seriously though, let me know about those front control arms. You northern folks, if anybody's from up north looking at those, just let me know what you think. change them, not. I don't know. We'll see what kind of comments we get on this thing, and then I'll make a decision. But that's it. Another project down on the old Toyota.